everyone. Welcome to the Ess Cast here at the First Weber office in Middleton. Got Tommy and Sean here. We're all teammates on the Tommy Van Ness Realty Group here, so here to give you a little podcast and a little information here tonight.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, it's a beautiful spring day. We've had a little bit gloomy, but holy cow, this weather has just been fantastic. If this was our winters from now on, I'd be all right with that.
Heck yeah. Just out at a listing, we were walking around the property, and it was a nice night for March. Shoot, it was 60 degrees out there.
There's five of us, not one of us had a jacket on. It was ridiculous.
Before we start talking about real estate, what do you people think about Aaron Jones being traded? I wasn't too happy about that.
You know, he was referred to as the heartbeat of the team, and all of a sudden he's not coming back this year. Like,
that was rough.
I don't know. I don't get
Brian,
it.
Brian dropped the ball there.
Hopefully this Jacobs does the deal, because man, he's got some big shoes to fill.
Well, and he was a locker room guy too. That's
right.
The thing is, Jones wasn't just a beast on the field. He was the locker room guy. You know,
getting everyone amped up.
And that's what you got to do with these young teams. You got to get them to buy in. So hopefully we still keep that.
They know something we don't, right?
Yeah, there's clearly something going on, because that was a flipped script from Brian in his interviews at the end of the season about what the future of Jones was going to be, and it was very much he was going to be a part of it, and all of a sudden he's gone, and he's at Minnesota for $7 million measly dollars.
Right. Yeah, for the 1 year contract.
top tier running back for $7 million. I just don't get it. None of it makes sense, but.
Anyhow, that's why we sell real estate and don't
mess
because
around
I want to let Aaron Jones go. But
leave it up to the pros, I guess. But.
Yeah. So we do have some pretty cool listings coming up, though. Yeah. We have, it's getting to that time of year. A lot of people calling. I know Sean had someone called him and he wrote an offer in one day this weekend.
Yep.
One hour, I should say.
They're staring at the Airbnb and called them. They're like, "We want to buy it."
Yeah, and if I would have answered the phone 30 seconds or 60 seconds later, I called them in they called at 3:12. I called them at 3:14, and they told me that they had another realtor's number pulled up, and they were ready to call him when I called them back. I called them in less than 3 minutes. So 4 minutes would have been too long.
Yeah, you
move on to the next.
If you don't answer your phone, they'll move right on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. You don't. I was actually sitting with my family we were grabbing some lunch, and I was like, I gotta step away for this, and thank God I did. It would have been a really expensive lunch if I would have stepped away.
but we have a ton of listings coming up. We got one in Tacoma this week.
That'll be a big one.
It's the only house in Tacoma available. That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
The market right now, there's nothing on the market out there. So.
Me and Laura were saying the listing description for that property has to be simply Tacoma, 4-bedroom, walkout basement.
Right.
Like, she doesn't even have to write a description.
A 2-car garage in Tacoma, which is very,
very, very,
very. It's close to downtown. There's not much
stuff selling quick. Every buyer you work with has 5-6 offers on the house at least.
Yeah, it's certainly getting competitive. Mm-hmm. And as soon as if the rates drop this year with the election, it's just going to get wild. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of buyers that are just sitting and waiting for it to drop a point and a half, and if it does,
it's going to be a bloodbath out there.
We have no listings because who's going to move? They're not going to give up their 2.25% interest rate and move into and go buy a new house for 6%.
Mm-hmm.
Just not happening.
Nope.
That's why we're not having anybody, listing their house.
Yeah, it's not that the market is down. It's just that the sales are down.
Right.
Values are still climbing. It's just
there's nothing for sale.
Nothing for sale.
So it's a good time to sell. If you want to sell, move down south.
If you got a place to go, time couldn't be better. That's for sure.
Right.
But yeah.
So, there's a couple questions on here that some people were willing to ask, like, what's the most unique setting point of Wisconsin homes compared to other states? Or selling points, I should say.
Well, we have over 15,000 lakes in this state, so more lakes than Minnesota, the land of 10,000.
Yeah. We have lakes. Our school districts, our school system is really good compared to a lot of other states.
Working for the state in any facet in Wisconsin is a really good place to be. We've got one of the strongest state unions. Not state union, state retirement plan.
State retirement plan is one of the top in the whole country, if not one of the top in the whole world, actually. But yeah,
The Dells just north of the of Madison here was ranked in USA Today as one of the top 5 places in the country to invest in an Airbnb.
wow.
So we've got that in our back pocket as one of the top places for investment properties. Property values, as across the board are low in comparison to any kind of metropolitan area.
Right. And it is, it's beautiful in Wisconsin. Everybody thinks it's cold. We're in Siberia here, but we have the end of the.
don't tell everybody it's getting nicer.
But it's we have the end of the glaciers, so we have a lot of hills, we have a lot of rivers, we have a lot of rock formations.
The driftless region is
really really popular. Black Earth, Spring Green, the Frank Lloyd Wright.
Very unique out there.
I had a buddy that had never gotten out of Chicago, and I took him back to Hillsborough where I grew up, which is in the middle of the driftless.
Right.
And Aileen, he was a simple guy, but he had never gotten out of Colorado. And we're driving into Hillsborough, and he's going, "Sweetie, I didn't know you guys had mountains in Wisconsin." Because the only thing he had ever seen was Christmas Mountain. But we do have some cool stuff in Wisconsin.
Right.
We do. It's all hidden gems.
Yeah, and particularly in Madison, I don't know if you saw Epic's building 3 new huge buildings.
Really?
Huge buildings. And underground, some of it's
more
underground,
employees.
some 5-story glass buildings underground. And, it's just kind of crazy the stuff they're doing out there.
Well, recently I did a relocation tour for a guy out of Denver. He was coming to Epic, and what he said. He goes, "I don't really want to be more than 45 minutes from anything." And I was like, "Well, that's all of the greater Madison area," and he really couldn't wrap his head around it because these other metropolitan areas, it's such a gridlock to get around and to get to different places. Where we're really fortunate, 30 minutes from downtown Madison, and you're in the hills. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. Come up and buy a house from us.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll find you a job. There's a lot of jobs available.
So
Epic, Exact Science.
Quick Trip's bringing
Family.
the Quick Trip is coming into Default.
We have
They're
a
going to bring
new
forward some jobs.
what the other one is
Amazon's
coming in. Amazon's coming in. Big Amazon
Cottage Grove
warehousing. So a lot of jobs.
Funny thing is the farm that Quick Trip bought. Amazon offered them $150 million, and they said no to it.
Really?
And they just that same family just sold the Zaire farm across from Camping World for $50, because Quick Trip came in and said Amazon's gone. They went to Cottage Grove. You said no to 150, and they got 50 for it.
Yeah, they should have taken their money when they had it.
Hey,
It happens. We see it every day. You know what? Your first offer is probably usually your best offer. People want to wait. They say, "Oh, we can get better, and then from there, a lot of the offers go down. So a lot of times, people are chomping at the bit. They see it. They're going to come in. They're going to give you their best offer. They lost out. So, but sellers tend to think that they don't like to take that first offer. They want to wait.
They always think they can do better.
They always want to do better, and a lot of times that's not the case. They end up taking a loss.
Yep, left $100 million on the table.
So, I mean, we've had clients that have left $300,000 on the table. They didn't take an offer, and in the end, sold it for up to $300,000 less. That's a lot of money to be leaving out there for waiting for another offer.
And then I think I know the client we're talking about, and he held it for almost 2 years. So not only did he lose $300, he lost all of that holding cost. He lost, and like you said, if he would have taken that money in the beginning and put it in a low yield, where would he be? Yeah, so it was a $300,000 less, but it was really probably more closer to a $800,000 to $1 million swing for the guy, just because they didn't want to take what the first one was in.
Money, he held holding costs.
Yeah, but we got to sell the place, so there's the silver lining. The first agent didn't talk him into it, but
all right. Well, why settle for less?
Call Tommy Van Ess.